Christ!
Gotta love how even the DM was freaking out seconds before it happened, and the player didn't have to do anything involving exploiting or breaking the rules.
Don't you have like another mother that's, you know, more alive? This one likes Bubs more.
And the cleric is already praying for the child, because, oh boy.
Who taught that child whatever the hell that spell is?
I have no idea. I haven't gotten that far into the campaign.
Like, that's not... He summoned it, so, like, it can't be necromancy. Can it?
I genuinely don't know. As I said, I haven't gotten that far in. I haven't even finished the first video yet. Well, if one counts session 1 as the first video. Otherwise, if one says, no, the session 0 video was the first one, then yeah, I've gotten past that. You will feel for Carver after you see the rest of those animations.
Hi, Internet. Welcome to the stream.
Home to the only cat on the internet who can cast vicious mockery on himself in the mirror every morning, thinking he's giving himself positive affirmations.
Damn, you.
No.
We're playing Call of the Elder Gods. I don't even know what to say to that.
That's okay. I haven't been alright since I was 12.
I feel like I just had my own Bubs moment, because, like, how do you unpack that?
That's the neat part, you don't.
So, last time we played this game, I do believe we discovered... Right. We had discovered
Oh, that is weird.
What?
So I checked up on the YouTube stream, and its title was still for yesterday's. Like, it is very clearly today's stream, but the title still says, no Meicoomon today, so we are playing modded Skyrim.
Well, time to see if I can edit a YouTube title on a live stream. Also, do me a favor, check Twitch as well.
Yeah? On it. Okay, the Twitch title is precisely what it should be. Call the Elder Gods, because of course there's a cult.
Good.
It's just YouTube acting weird. Man, if I set the Borok that are coming out to, like, clean up YouTube to get rid of whatever malfunctioned, they'd be gone for, like, at minimum the next 30 years. I would never see them again.
Or just type something in the YouTube chat for anyone that ends up watching.
Yeah. On that note, since you have confirmed you want any spares I can hand you, then I hope you like Fire and Ice.
Personally, I've never been a big Game of Thrones fan.
But yeah, those are the only two Borok elements I will have duplicates of.
At least until those ones that were lost in the mail show up. If they show up.
Yeah. The ones I'm getting right now are supposed to be the replacements for the ones that somehow got lost in the mail.
Alright. So, last time on Call of the Elder Gods, we explored an expedition site in Virginia, I think it was.
I will just say, it has been a trip getting the Borok to happen. It is 1 day shy of a full month since I actually ordered the damn things. All right, now, alts.
Yes. Yeah, we found this refinery for the black ooze. And we managed to make a statuette with the black ooze, which should hopefully let us come back.
Professor? I'm losing you. Professor! Professor! I can't hear you.
Oh, that is not good.
Impossible though it was, she had just heard her dead father's voice, unmistakably.
It works! It works! The path is open!
Evangeline, I can hear you now.
Oh, good. Glad you're back, Professor.
I'll be waiting for you here. Once you're out, we'll return to... What the?
Professor?
You know, the last time I was in an underwater place like this, it was 2007, and that did not end well for the residents.
Last time I was in a place like this, I was playing as Professor Everhart's wife.
What do you mean, someone else?
Stay down there until I tell you to...
In my case, everything
Professor?
kind of came to a screeching halt when the native god of the universe died and the giant island came out of nowhere from, like, high above and completely obliterated the underwater city.
As she was in waiting, her air supply wouldn't last forever. So when all the noise above finally
There was, like,
ceased,
6 armies of sea creatures all tearing each other apart.
Professor, I finally have it! I have the statue...
Well, this is interesting. You're going to have to come with us, Miss Drayton.
Dr. Frog in the throat.
Wake her up. Welcome back, Evangeline.
Finally, this is also the story of an obsessive, manipulative, and ambitious man. This is the story of Caleb Bowen.
Wait, where am I?
I'll be the one
Oh, you're not
asking the
looking too
questions
hot,
here,
Doc.
girl. My name is Caleb Bowen. I work for the United States
In
government.
fact, you're looking
Bowen
kind
often
of
made
like,
that claim, though it was at best a half-truth.
looking a little like
Sure,
Nora
he worked for
there.
the government once, but that was a long time ago. And he'd been running solo for years.
Do you realize that you trespassed on a site closed off by the United States government? And more importantly, that you were seen in the company of
Where
Professor
nobody ever listens
Harrison
when you tell them
Everhart.
not to eat the
You may
green
not know
slime.
it, but Everhart is a subversive individual. We
That shit's been
suspect
toxic since
he may be
Nickelodeon
working for
first
the
started
company.
using it.
Bowen kept lying. He knew Harry could be
why
many
they
things,
stopped
but a
using it.
communist was definitely not one
Well,
of
actually,
them.
no. The real reason he stopped using it was because
You better have
it was
proof for
flammable.
what you're saying.
And difficult to clean
You
up.
are in no position to demand anything, girl. But even so, I'll show you who Professor Everhart really is. Your father's
Fucking
name was
picture.
Franklin Drayton. He and his brother Moses ran a workshop in Benoit, Mississippi called Drayton Motors. He died in a work accident in San Francisco in 1934.
And the
Is that
Mew
correct?
persona just went into a trance.
You've been investigating me? What kind of...
Shut up and listen to what I have to say. Do you recognize anyone besides your father in this photograph?
Wait, is that Professor Everhart?
Oh, correct.
And
Everhart led an expedition
Metronome
to the
turned into
Pacific
Splash.
in 1934. Your father was part of that expedition.
That
He thinks
was the
he's a magic
only
harp.
truth Bowen told during his conversation with Evangeline.
Ah, the old
Your
expedition
father
crew.
didn't
I
die in
wonder
San
what they're all up
Francisco,
to.
Miss
Right, they're all
Drayton.
dead.
He died in excruciating agony, alone and abandoned on an island in the Pacific.
Well, except
all
for the
because
Polynesian
of
guy
Professor
and Harry.
Everhart.
Everyone else
I bet he
died.
never told you that, did he? In fact, every
On a
member
quick
of the
tangent
Everhart
about
expedition
classic
died
Nickelodeon
or
there.
disappeared under mysterious circumstances.
Name a show
Even
you
the
feel
Professor
could have
One,
gone for
whose
longer than
strange
it
illness
did.
was the impetus for the expedition, died under equally mysterious
Like something that
circumstances.
actually had
I
decent
didn't
potential
die
but got
under
cut
mysterious
way too short.
circumstances. I died in our
For
bed,
Nickelodeon?
holding Harry's hand.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But Bowen had no interest in telling that part.
So I know I got one.
How can you possibly know that?
Hello,
One
Chalk
of my
Zone.
associates was part of that expedition. She also perished, though not before informing us of what had happened.
Evie was in shock and full of doubt. The professor was a withdrawn and sullen individual and, frankly, really hard to deal with, but could he also be responsible for her father's death? Despite her doubts, she kept silent.
It's literally a
And wisely
land of
so.
imagination where
She
chalk
still
drawings
didn't
come to
trust
life.
this
Of
Bowen
course,
fellow,
I think it got cut too
regardless of his
short.
claim that he worked for the
I
government.
can't think of anything.
Now you know the kind of person you've
Anything
gotten
from Nick, at
involved
least.
with, Evangeline. And the kind of trouble
I mean, I've got a
you're in.
few.
I have a
One of
few
them is
questions
so incredibly
for you.
obvious, I'm choosing not
For
to
your
address
embarrassing
the
just to
Urkin in the room.
Oh.
That platform beneath the lake in the Rappahannock River caves. How did you manage
My
to
life as a
activate
teenage
it?
robot could certainly have been treated better.
You're wrong. I didn't activate any platform.
Don't try to lie to me, girl. You're no good at it.
Fairly Odd
You must
Pet.
have
No, wait a
recognized the
minute.
girl's cognitive pattern, I'm sure of it. She even mentioned a period of amnesia.
What are you talking about? That one got canceled after season 1.
I hope you're right.
Evangeline
Okay, no,
had
let
not
me
the slightest
let me
idea what
rephrase
those
this.
two men were talking about.
Fairly Odd Parents, A New Wish.
Next question. You said a word while you were asleep. Nakotis. Do you know what
Yeah.
that means?
As far as I know, I only got
Yeah.
the one season.
It means pompous
I
government
don't think it was
jerk with a
necessarily canceled
ridiculous
too
pencil
soon, but I
mustache.
feel like Wild
You watch your
Thornberry's
mouth,
had some
girl.
more in the
I'm
tank.
warning you.
Yeah.
Final question. Have you heard of someone named Dr. West?
Oh, they're asking about Dr. West. He's a professor from
I think
Miskatonic.
he's a professor from Miskatonic.
That's impossible. A human name in a manuscript written by...
Caleb fell silent. He had almost revealed too much.
Not the
This
West
is a
they're
waste of
talking
time,
about.
Pharaoh. It's obvious the girl is hiding something, but there are more effective and less traumatic ways of getting that information.
You're right. Proceed.
You expect me to buy that this old geezer with a bow tie works for the government too?
You'll recall I
That
mentioned
one-
that
oh,
Evie
God, that
was
one
feisty
show,
and stubborn as a mule.
The
And whatever they had injected her with wasn't
100
doing
Good
much to
Deeds
tame her
of...
spirit.
I like to laugh.
Of Eddie
too.
McDowell? Yeah.
Yes! That, like,
Please take a look
I
at this.
wanted that
Do you
show, like,
understand
I
this
wanted
one?
an ending to that show.
Even though it was written in those puzzling characters.
For those who
Evie
are
understood the
unaware,
book's
because it may or may not be
narcotic
before your time,
manuscripts,
this was a show
non-linear
about how
displacements
basically a
toward the
chronic
great library
jerk who got
and
reincarnated as a
reversible
dog
transfer of cognitive pattern.
or
Tell
transformed
me,
into
Mr.
one.
Eden,
Either way, he had to do
what's
100
written in
genuinely
the
good
cover?
deeds in order to transform back into a human.
Narcotic manuscripts.
Evie surprised herself. Had she spoken against her will?
As
She couldn't
you've
help but
gathered,
translate
the
book's
show didn't
subtitle
have
as
a
well.
proper ending.
She was feeling more and more
I mean, there
tired.
were cases
That's
where, like,
better, Miss Drake.
by the end of an episode, he didn't perform a
Now,
good deed or did a bad
Open
deed.
the book.
Wasn't often.
Focus and
I mean,
listen to my voice.
Dude was still the dude was
Listen to
basically
my
learning
voice
as he went
while
along.
You read the book
So
to
sometimes-
The interesting part is that whenever he did,
the book
like,
to
the interesting
us.
part for me is that when he did something bad, his counter actually went back one.
Yes.
What? What
It's
just
a show
happened?
that definitely
And what am I
explores
doing?
humanity in an interesting way.
Speaking of which, Animorphs, yay or nay?
Complicated. Do I think it's a great adaptation of the books? Not really. Do I think it's a bad show?
Oh no, Evie was not. in
Not
her
really.
dorm. Not at all.
It had its own
Hey,
brand of
over here.
potential.
Evangeline,
It's just
how are things, kid?
sorely
Papa,
mishandled.
Papa, but it can't be. You're alive?
Oh, of course I am.
What's funny is that show actually
have to find
had
a
the
That was not her father, of course.
okay, so there's an episode where
You
the
must
crew are
reach the
basically
quotas.
debating on whether or not to kill off the I believe they were called taxons,
Have I
who were
crossed
basically a Yeerk
another
slave
one of those
race.
portals?
And Jake points out, using the, well, less than spotless history
None
of
of this makes any sense.
equal rights in America, you know, our own slavery period, as an example of, you know, don't go after the slaves, go after the slave owners. Don't go after the people working for the people in power, go straight for the people in power.
This is weird. Really weird.
It was actually kind of surprising to see. Don't lash out aimlessly. Actually focus your energy where it's needed most.
That is very interesting.
Something the
Motors?
book didn't even do
Dad and Uncle Mo's motor shop
in that
Benoit?
same scene. I think they'd had the conversation go a different direction in the book. I'd have to
Moses, we're running.
I'd have
out
to
of
look
money.
back into both the
If
book
we
and the
don't get
episode
some cash
respectively.
soon, we'll have to shut the shop down. Yeah, well,
It's like,
that's easy for you.
was
to
there a
say.
universe in which
I've
the
got a
books
dog
were
to
adapted
provide for.
faithfully? Yes. Does the show air on Nickelodeon in that universe? Hell no.
Honestly, like, I feel like this could be like a manga versus anime situation where they could come up with their own ending with, you know, help from the author. Like, take the story in a different direction with help from the author. Like, don't like take it in a way that would make sense for the universe and the way the author writes.
Oh, they'd have to, given the way the books end.
Yeah.
So, for those who are not in the know,
all two of you,
the books,
Don't go to San
the books
Francisco,
have
please.
an intentionally non-satisfying ending.
Hey, what just happened?
The books,
It'll only be a few days,
spoiler
big bug.
alert,
I'll be
end with
back
a
before
major
you can
character
say
death,
no
a
problem.
time skip, and the rest of the crew going off on another mission that ends on a cliffhanger. And this was intentional. When people started complaining online about the ending being not satisfying, the writers stuck to their guns and said that's supposed to happen. That's the feeling you're supposed to have, because wars don't come to satisfying conclusions.
I'll do whatever it takes. The only thing that matters is Nora's life.
This was a war story disguised as a children's story.
Professor at all.
yeah.
Evie realized Bowen's lies were seeping into
Also,
her thoughts.
also, because I want to bring this up, I did not know about this beforehand, but there was an entire B team of Animorphs that got wiped out in the final battle.
Yep.
Not good.
There was an
That doesn't
entire
matter
B
anymore,
team
Mr.
that was just wiped from existence.
Harry,
Yep.
just listen to me.
Holy shit.
Like, there was the B team getting wiped out. There was the fact that the Andalite backup that was supposed to be the cavalry coming in to save our planet
Nothing here but death.
wasn't actually necessarily the good guys we were hoping for.
Go back home. Spend what time you've got left with your wife.
We spent several books
And
buying
there's a-
time for them to get here,
There's another thing. I
only to
wanna
find out
ask
that their
you.
idea of helping us is deeming Earth is too far gone with the Yeerk infestation and going cleanse the surface.
Part of me wants to
Where am I
compare
now?
them to the Thalmor, but I feel like that's just that's an unfair.
It is actually kind of unfair to the Andalites because they don't take planetary extermination as lightly as I like make them sound. Yeah, they're callous about it,
Great engineer?
but it's only because the Yeerks have such a big foothold on Earth.
They're callous because, one, the Yeerks have a foothold. Two, they've probably had to do this to too many planets.
Oh, definitely. They do not shy away from that. This has happened before. This war has been going on for a very long time. And on the note of the Yeerks, they're not exactly the bad guys either, necessarily. Are there fair few who genuinely want universal domination? Holy friggin' moly.
Hello! I was gonna call it Yithian, but that
we were right.
that's
We
like me
finally
walking
found
up
the
to
coordinates. Last
you
we
and
know
saying,
when the coast
"Hello,
lies."
Caucasian,"
Thanks for your cooperation, Miss Drake.
Yeah.
or "Hello, Homo sapien."
About an hour after Evangeline. had
Hello,
her
fellow
other
carbon-based
world
life form.
Finally,
Exactly.
I'm inside.
Harry snuck into the same building where she was being kept captive. He had been there many
Yeah.
years ago
So,
when he was seeking funding.
were there
for
some
the
Yeerks who
Everhand
genuinely
expedition.
wanted the whole universal domination thing? Yes. Especially a certain Visser.
Miss Drayton,
But,
are you there?
there were also peaceful Yeerks among the bunch who wanted
Harry
genuine
had always
coexistence.
suspected that the starry wisdom was
Who,
something far
yes,
more sinister than a
still
simple
inhabited the
astronomical
brains
society.
of,
And as soon
you know,
as he
humans
stepped into their
and other
own
creatures,
sanctum, his worst fear.
Egyptian hieroglyphs?
but did so without stealing the autonomy of the host.
Apparently, the only way to get into the Pharaoh's office is by getting the right combination on the statues downstairs. And I bet my life that...
Peaceful Yeerks.
Oh my god, you know...
That was...
Oh, Jesus Christ, I just... Holy shit. Epiphany. Alright, you know Commander Kabuto, right?
Vaguely.
The one with the red armor and big horn?
Yeah, I haven't watched the show, but I know of him.
Okay, so in his show, the monsters of the week are called worms. They're an invasive alien species that can can essentially camouflage themselves as humans by targeting a human, turning themselves into that human, and then 86ing the human. They have all their memories, their personality, everything. Near the end of the show, we find out that they're not the first ones to come to Earth. In the 70s, another group of worms called the Natives came to Earth seeking refuge. And they usually stayed hidden or were given human forms by humans that trusted them. Part of Kabuto's backstory is that his parents were supposedly murdered by worms. But in actuality, these two natives found Kabuto's parents and just they were running for their lives or something, and they just copied his parents. The shock apparently was too much for his mother, and I guess his father had a heart attack or something. But they both died from shock. But what no one knew was that the mother was pregnant. And when the native worm copied the mom, she copied the baby as well. Sorry for that tangent. It's just, you mentioned the peace-loving Yeerks, and I was suddenly reminded of
These people are out of their minds, no doubt about it. And they clearly have a pathological obsession with Egypt. I believe my psychiatrist had one of these too.
Like, there's a lot of weird shit they do with the Yeerks over the course of the books. There's the aforementioned, peaceful faction. And then there's the fact that there's a specific brand of oatmeal that had... Well... There was a legitimate discussion in the books about whether or not to use it as an anti-Yeerk bioweapon.
Only those who have been enlightened know the divine... What's this load of baloney?
Because there was something in the chemical composition of the oatmeal that drove Yeerks insane and robbed them of their control of their hosts. But it also made them effectively immortal to the point where they no longer needed to leave the host to feed on Kandrona rays every 3 days.
Okay, weird.
Certain sections of this pyramid seem to move.
The discussion became,
Harry wondered whether
you know,
it was a good idea
to the ends justify the means here. Is it worth using this on the Yeerks if doing so means we can't get them out of their host heads anymore? sure, the host is back in control, but they'll always have the Yeerk literally wrapped around their brain, muttering and rambling incoherently and crazily through the rest of their life, basically.
There we go.
Among other things they introduced were a race of, like, robots shaped like bipedal dogs who had their own issues with the Yeerks and had a rather heated debate over whether or not to get involved in combat.
Yes. The doors to the upper rooms are open.
Alright, so...
A couple of them did manage to shut off the combat inhibitors and were effectively traumatized after fighting for the first time.
So, in order to unlock the elevator to get us into the Pharaoh's office...
A black statue of a pharaoh. I don't know which one it represents, but it's unsettling to say the least.
We need clues from all 5 members of this little
This looks like an
cult.
astronomer's office. So these freaks have masks, code names, and hieroglyphs assigned to each of them. This book seems to recount traditions of ancient Egypt.
I will admit I need to look up a walkthrough for this because I don't think I got all of the information when I first played this game.
Heaven's sake.
Returning
These
to an
crooks
older
really are
point,
obsessed.
other shows on Nickelodeon that should have been given more time to spread their wings. I'd have liked to have seen more of Kablam.
Yeah.
Now, this one, genuinely people might have forgotten about, but it was basically a cartoon variety show made up of different skits and shorts, you know, done in different styles, with a comic book framing device.
An archaeologist's office for sure. There's something written in German in these pages.
Although Harry's German was a bit rusty, he understood what it meant.
Among other shorts, it gave us Life with Loopy, Action League Now,
This must be the
Prometheus
group's
and
official
Bob.
photographer.
Which that last one was a favorite for my family. It was a pretty simple
Guy has been
premise.
all over the world.
It was a claymation show about an alien trying to teach a caveman about, you know, how to evolve.
The letter laid bare the bad
Technologies
blood
and
between
such.
some of the cult members. Something pretty common when
The recurring
power-hungry
gag being that
fanatics
the
are
monkey
involved.
understood better than the caveman ever did.
We have a dark room.
Looks like a device to make prints from photographic film.
So I think it was mentioned earlier in the game, but Cass from the first game, the bitch with the camera,
This office looks expensive. This fella clearly has expensive tastes. I'm impressed.
She worked for these wackos. She wasn't a member of their inner circle, but she worked for them.
What nonsense are they talking about now? You have to be some kind of narcissist to snap a pic of yourself.
Needed a longer run, but I also remember shows by the name of Hey Dude and The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
I remember The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Like I said, I don't really remember much of that show, so anything you could offer is vastly appreciated.
I don't remember anything either. I just remember there were two kids named Pete and Pete. I think they looked alike. I don't remember.
Just an office. But this couch, maybe from a psychiatrist's office? He sounds glad.
There's two other shows that I remember from back in the day on Nick. All That and Kenan and Kel.
Yeah.
Both of which got some good laughs out of me. I just, for whatever reason, I couldn't get myself to sit through the intro.
I've always despised spoiled rich kids and Orions, no exception.
I guess I just wasn't a fan of those genres of music at the time.
$1955. A roll of film.
On the more preschool side, because I would have been about that age.
Shelf is packed with every kind of
I remember Little Bear.
Looks like it came straight out of Dr.
I remember Little Bear
Frankenstein's lab.
too. I don't know if it was on the same network, but there was also Franklin.
I'm sure I could name all the fish in this aquarium.
Yeah, they were both on the same network.
Harry had become
honestly,
something of an expert on
I thought they
fish,
were either the same
especially
show or
those with
set in the
striking
same
spotted patterns.
Hanging your college
I
diploma
guess it all
on the
depends on
wall
if
or in
Franklin
some
was,
sort of weird
you know,
cult
a
doesn't
Nelvana
strike me as
production.
the smartest idea.
I have to look into that.
They rotated the positions. What is that?
Because, like,
Looks like even kooky
especially when it
cultists
came
have a
to
love
Little
life.
Bear,
Who?
I remember the show just feeling so dang comfy.
Oh, fucking! You want to speak of comfy like Nick Jr. shows? Fucking Wonder Pets.
Oh God, that show. Not a bad show by any stretch. But I found myself irritated by the duck. Very self-oriented, which, like, it's not meant to be a harmful thing. This is the excited, I want to show the older sibling figures here that I could do something all on my own. I'm growing. But it came off very annoying, at least for me at the time. And again, by the time Wonder Pets was actually airing, I was older than its target demographic, so not for me.
So was I, but it helped me go to sleep a lot. Well, like a lot of times. It just had that...
I remember wanting to hug the freaking guinea pig because it looked so damn fluffy.
Alright, we have a complete photograph.
Good. I've developed the photo.
There's so many edits of that statement alone, that line, that I could probably name at least one variation off the top of my head.
Look at this graph.
That's the one.
So, I think T-Mobile did had the band do a cover of their own song for like one of their phones, and I'm gonna be honest, I liked the cover for the commercial better than the actual song, because the actual song just seems so sad and like melancholic. But this, like the one with the commercial, just felt a lot more nostalgic.
Well, when they have a second chance, they can probably capture the feeling they wanted from the original. Let's see, what other shows from around the time? I was a Blue's Clues kid.
I was too. You want to know something? You want to know something interesting about me?
Oh?
So, way back when, in elementary school, I was borderline anorexic. And I know you wouldn't be able to tell now by looking at me, especially considering I weigh just under 280 pounds. I was skinny. My hair was shorter. I obviously did not have a beard and mustache.
Yeah.
And I had a green and white striped shirt.
Oh, I think I see where this is going.
Kids kept calling me Steve from Blue's Clues.
Kids be like that.
Kids are cruel, Jack. I'm very in touch with my inner child.
Yeah.
We gotta play that game someday.
As far as I'm concerned, like, I was a Steve generation when it came to Blue's Clues in general. I remember when the transition to Joe was a big thing.
I remember that too. I still watched the show, but I mean, I still fell off it like anyone.
I fell off eventually, but I stuck around like well after Joe took over. It is a very smartly written show, for its demographic. It even tackles some life lessons that adults have issues with, making it all the more important to tackle them at a young age. Because, yeah, you had the age-old, sharing and such, but if I remember, there were also lessons about, like, forgiveness and patience. It's a very smartly written show for its demographic.
Mm-hmm. And then years later, the people behind the show decide to shake the foundation and bring back both Joe and Steve
for a crossover special with the current host.
That may or may not have made me shed tears.
Damn it didn't
I will just say, it made
need to go over it again.
It lit up something in my soul that made me smile when I read about that.
I don't know what to do
with it. There's a video, like, when the whole thing was going on, there's a video of Steve, like, dressed up. And he just, like, stops for a minute, asks you to just stop for a minute so they can talk, because it's been a long time. And he mentioned, like, he talks about how look at how big you've grown, and like just things like that. And then of course he ends it with a "I'm proud of you," and I'm just like,
I think I saw that clip too.
I was not ready to feel emotions.
Neither was I. But I was damn
so
happy to be having
God of
them.
fertility and Thoth. God of intelligence
It's like
and
Mr.
magic.
Rogers came
Statue
back
of
from the
Horus.
dead to say you're
Goddess
okay,
of
you're doing
protection
good.
and Anubis. Egyptian, that is so big. God of
Like, let's face it. For people of our generation, Steve was our Mr. Rogers.
fertility and life, and Lord of the Nile.
At least in a sense.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he did have some controversy around him. Mostly because no one would say why the hell he left. And people kept coming up with their own bullshit as to, like, why he left. Some said drug abuse, others said cancer.
If memory serves, it was a mental health issue, wasn't it?
I don't remember. What I do remember...
Because, like...
What I do remember...
You first?
Yeah. What I do remember is... Steve... His real name was Steve, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, they did an MST...
Like, that was go...
They did an MST3K thing, okay.
Yeah. So, that was going to be part of the point I was bringing up. Like, I said it was a mental health thing because playing a character who shares your real-life name, he reportedly started kind of blurring the lines to the point where he needed to leave in order to sort himself out.
That makes sense.
Now, granted, I cannot speak to the validity of, this one. This is just what I heard. But if this was the case, it makes sense to me. On the note of comfy shows with an easy-to-watch, semi-parental figure going on, and jumping channels, there was Bear in the Big Blue House.
Absolutely.
We've brought this one up more than once on stream. Mm-hmm. It was a comfy little show.
One more thing about Blue's Clues. I almost said Booze Clues. That's a different show. Steve actually appeared on WWE.
Nani?
Yes. Vince McMahon was hiring for a new general manager of whatever circuit or channel it was. Raw, SmackDown, I don't know. I don't even know if those were like things at the time, but he was hiring a new general manager. When Steve walked in, keep in mind all the interviews were like in the ring with a desk and a chair and chairs. Steve walks in, sits in the chair, has a kind of smug look on his face. Vince proceeds to beat the shit out of the poor man and chases him chases him out of the ring.
Huh. I got nothing.
Alright. I had to look up a guide again because otherwise we'd be here all day. Alright, let's see. Position 1. Howard. Dilettante. I don't know what that is. Codename Orion and
Anyways.
Oh no, it does not. Uh-oh, it doesn't show the symbols.
We'll just have to brute force. At least it's only one thing. We got most of the rest of the combination. It's only the last one.
Have masks similar to their hieroglyphs. That means I ended up on the right one anyway. Okay.
That's funny. So, of all things, I don't want to say fell off, because if I had still been able to, I would have consistently watched the show up until the end, but evidently there was a whole season of Bear in the Big Blue House I didn't see when they actually got to go into town.
Yeah, that was a whole show.
And of those episodes taking place in Woodland Valley, there was one about a library catching fire. Or, no, maybe it was a storm with a falling tree. It was something like that. I might be getting it confused with Arthur. But, like, they had their own pseudo 9/11 response episode to teach kids how to cope through the emotion. I didn't even know that episode existed until a few years ago. And clearly, some of it's left my memory because I cannot, like, draw up the details on a whim. I'll be honest, I wasn't even all that surprised when I found out that it was a Jim Henson Works production. Like, you could just feel it in the design of their puppets that it was a Jim Henson thing. Or accurately, the company with his name on it, but still. My brain basically... my brain is doing this now, but I would have loved to have seen a crossover special between Bear in the Big Blue House and Between the Lions, even if it was only like a cameo of one show and the other. They were on at roughly the same time, albeit in two different places. But they were still made by the same people. Like the same company. Hell, I didn't even realize that Between the Lions ran as long as it did, let alone that there was an attempt to revive the show after a while. In a purely 2D animated form. And somehow the Smarty Pants guy got even creepier in 2D. I think it's because they were able to exaggerate him even more. Either way, yes, Elder Gods. Yeah, the hell with it. Remember those game shows Nickelodeon used to do?
Yes.
I particularly favor Double Dare, but I'll be honest, like, if I'd had the opportunity, I would have watched Legends of the Hidden Temple more. But knowing what I know now about what happened behind the scenes, ooh, boy, do I have a lot less anger about nobody being able to solve that damn monkey.
Oh?
Restricted filming hours. People would be like... It was usually either early morning or early evening when they were able to film in order to let the kids actually go to school.
Oh.
So, by the time they actually get to the temple run segment, they're usually tired. They're already stressed out from other parts of the day. Especially trying to evade the temple guards, which, fun fact, those were the redesigned, less scary temple guards, and some kids still wound up upset enough to start crying.
I'm sure of it.
You want to know what they were going to be before they got redesigned?
Skeletons.
As he rode the elevator,
Straight up monsters.
Harry regretted not bringing a weapon. What if Bowen was still up there?
I believe an earlier version of the Hidden Temple thing would have had them, like, exploring Castle Frankenstein and running into classic horror monsters.
So the
Before it got, you know, redesigned for the Hidden Temple theme.
I don't know why I would watch that version of the show.
Spitzbergen. That's...
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
That doesn't sound good at all. And what's
And
this
of course,
Azathoth business?
the show kind of benefited from rarely ever getting, you know, full-on grand prize winners. Usually they'd be unable to solve the monkey in time or get caught some other way. Because one thing the show lacked was budget.
That would explain some of the prizes.
And the fact that the talking tiki head Olmec thing, that was just the voice actor for the character moving a board behind the mouth, like behind the face itself, and flicking a switch to make the eyes light up when he talked.
So
they literally threw it together with stuff they got out of Radio Shack.
So, Caleb Brown mentions bringing forth the Black Man and departing for the throne of Azathoth. He's talking about Nyarlathotep and the blind idiot god Azathoth.
Oh, boy.
So, Cthulhu's brother, I think? Hold on. Alright, let's see here. Huh.
While we're talking Nickelodeon shows that had shorter, well, shortish runs that are like, you could probably squeeze a little more out of that. There was a show called Cat Scratch.
I remember Cat Scratch.
Probably some of the weirdest Nickelodeon got up to at the time. I think, yeah, their first episode, at least the first one I saw, had them literally going to the moon to play low-gravity basketball. Premise of the show, for those unfamiliar, being a trio of cats inherit nigh infinite wealth from their rich old owner who had passed away. And they're basically just using that infinite resource they have there to do whatever the hell. One episode has them playing low-G basketball. Another has one of them drilling to the center of the Earth to alter the core of the Earth to be precisely what a human kid he's fond of thinks it's made of. And somehow turning it into, like, a mockery of Disney cartoons?
So Cthulhu is Nyarlathotep's, or rather, Nyarlathotep is Cthulhu's great-granduncle? Great-grunkle?
I guess I've heard weirder.
Either way, Nyarlathotep is the son of Azathoth.
Looks like they give this medal to just about anyone.
Like, direct lineage there. Be afraid.
Say, isn't that Senator McCarthy?
Indeed. Caleb's friend Joe.
Joseph McCarthy.
I knew Bowen would never abandon his Nazi pals.
Well, damn.
And
this creature seems vaguely familiar.
Something about a button?
Dr. West?
So, here's an amusing little fun fact. Nickelodeon actually rejected some shows that would move on to other networks. At least 2 of them moved to Cartoon Network. The first one I'll mention was Ed, Edd and Eddy. Not necessarily rejected outright, But they wanted full creative control, which Danny Antonucci was not about to give them.
Fair.
The second and most infamous of these was Adventure Time, which was rejected by Cartoon Network 3 times. Not Cartoon Network, rejected by Nickelodeon 3 times, and eventually moved to Cartoon Network. My bad. I am so mixed up right now.
How is Bowen this paranoid? A secret area.
Then Cartoon Network started airing Adventure Time proper, and Nickelodeon realized what they had given up and immediately decided to throw together some loud, obnoxious, random as all get out show to try to capture Adventure Time's audience without realizing that there was more going on besides loud, obnoxious, random, bright, screaming colors.
And although he felt the urge to touch it, he decided it was better not to.
Giving us the mistake that was
Josephine Harwin.
Fanboy and
She who
Chum Chum.
transcends beyond death. It can't be. That's Cass.
Ah, yes. That was the confirmation of something Harry had long suspected. Bowen never admitted it, but he had sabotaged Harry's expedition.
So, yeah, Bowen sabotaged the expedition.
Josephine Kerwin. She who transcends beyond death. It can't be. That's Cass.
Ah, yes. That was the confirmation of something Harry had long suspected. Bowen never admitted it, but he had sabotaged Harry's expedition.
Enoch Bowen and the Shining Trapezahedron.
Evangeline had to be on the other side of that door, no doubt about it. But Harry stopped before entering. Was there anything left for him
What
to
else
find
did I
in
watch
Caleb
back in
Bowen's
the
office?
day?
Please be all right, Evangeline.
I don't think Courage the Cowardly Dog needs any introduction.
Let's go, Miss Drayton. We have to get out of here.
Stupid dog, you made me look bad. Ooga booga booga.
Look, it's the engineer. I've seen one of those creatures before. In my dreams.
Cartoon Fridays was a beloved weekly ritual of mine.
To me in my dreams, Professor. I have to.
It was one of the rare times I could get the entire family, all 5 of us, to sit down and watch the same thing together.
Professor. We have to go to Spitzbergen. I need to talk with him, with the great engineer.
Miss Drayton, don't you realize this doesn't make any sense? We can't chase Bowen and his...
No, you don't understand. Bowen isn't in Spitzbergen. He's on his way to the city, on his way to Nakotis.
Harry couldn't believe what he had just heard. Evangeline had mentioned a place he had known in dreams, long ago. So long ago, he had nearly forgotten it.
I had a strange dream.
So yeah, remember that
I was
thing that
inside
Harry
a vast
wrote in the
library
first game about having a strange dream about a vast
vistas
library?
of another world.
All these questions came crashing
It
down
connects
on
to
Harry.
this.
And suddenly, he wasn't so convinced
Neat.
anymore. Before boarding the plane to Norway, Evie and Harry talked about the trip. About where they'd be stopping over. About what they'd do once they got to Spitzbergen. They talked about bringing plenty of warm clothing and gear and supplies to make it through. They talked about getting their documents and passports in order. They even talked about the strange city they had both dreamt of. But Evie knew there was something they hadn't talked about. A question she didn't know how to ask the professor, because every time she'd tried, the right words never came out. But a long flight leaves plenty of time to think.
Professor?
Yes?
When I was being held by that man, Bowen, he showed me a picture of you. A picture of you and my father in the Pacific.
You see, every time I look at this guy, all I see is Reed Richards with glasses.
And then, it was Harry who didn't know how to find the right words. Because even though he'd been waiting years for that question, he still didn't know how to answer it. Evie took Harry's silence as a yes.
How come you never told me you knew my father?
Well, you never asked.
What do you mean,
Bullshit.
I never asked? What kind of an answer is that?
Evie was furious. That petty, childish excuse didn't suit the professor at all.
Look, I wanted to. I just...
You wanted what? Just talk, for God's sake.
All right. I'll explain everything.
Good. We've got plenty of time to spare before we land.
My wife, Nora, was diagnosed with an incurable disease. The same hereditary illness of unknown origin that had struck her mother before her. The doctors had no answer. So I decided to find it myself. I never imagined the answer would take me so far away. To a remote island in the Pacific. Back then, I didn't
Seriously,
have the
especially with that younger design,
financial
tell me that
independence
didn't
I
look
have.
like Reed.
So I had to raise money and put a team together. Do you remember the night before your father left for work in San Francisco? You were probably 5 or 6 years old.
Oh, God. Yes, I remember. I remember a beautiful, dark-haired woman, a nervous, scrawny guy, and a man who seemed really happy about something.
I'll never forget those words. You're a whiz, mister. Would you be interested, by any chance, in an exciting job opportunity in the Pacific? That's right. Frank agreed to come with us to the island. It pained him to leave you and your mother back in Mississippi, but he needed the money and I was paying very well. But that island wasn't what we expected. There was something there that... Let's just say there are forces in this world that mankind ought not to meddle with, Miss Drayton. Things like the Black Ooze, and on that island, it was everywhere. I told you, it's the most dangerous substance I've ever come across. We found that out when one of the expedition members came into contact with it. It was him, driven mad, who attacked your father. Just a shallow cut with an ancient dagger, but enough to infect him with that black liquid. That is what took Frank's life. I did what I could to look after him, but that infection, it was beyond anything I could handle. His final words still haunt me. Harry, please look after my wife and my little girl. And that's what I've been trying to do all these years. Though evidently not as well as I might have done.
Evie was speechless. She could not believe it.
Take care of me? What are you talking about? I just met you a week ago. I've never had anyone except my mother. And the only help we ever got was from the insurance checks. What kind of help are you—
There was no insurance, Evangeline.
What?
Harry decided that since he'd started telling the truth, he wouldn't stop halfway.
I am the Hydrangea Foundation. Hydrangeas were just Nora's favorite flowers, that's all.
And then, Evie understood. She understood the strange and painful sacrifice that man had made.
I wasn't the one who drove that dagger into your father, but I dragged him to that island and didn't listen when he told me we had to leave.
Harry had spent a long time avoiding the truth of what had happened
Well,
30 years before on that island in the Pacific.
That's a guilty
But
conscience
for the
if I've ever
first
seen
time
one.
in ages, he was forced to face it.
So yes, your father died because of me. I can't tell you how sorry I am.
He's carried that.
I won't be so foolish as to ask for your forgiveness.
Decades.
I know I have no right to. I understand how you must feel now. I understand that you hate me.
Maybe you have no right to ask for it, but I forgive you, Professor.
You forgive me? But why?
Well, first of all, I'm a Christian, so I believe in forgiveness and everything that comes with it. And second, because we all make mistakes, Professor. You've made plenty of them. Grave mistakes that came at a high price. But it's not up to me to judge you. Maybe you should forgive yourself, Professor. You've been torturing yourself for 23 years. Isn't that enough self-punishment?
Harry was puzzled. He hadn't expected this. In a strange way, Evie's forgiveness made him feel uncomfortable. Didn't he deserve punishment for what he'd done? Evie's decision had made him doubt. Perhaps it was time to move on.
The guilt
I don't know.
that Harry has been holding on to. Not just for Frank, but also with what happened.
I'm sure I am.
With
Believe
Nora.
me.
And after that, Evie and Harry remained silent for the rest of the flight.
He's been carrying that for years.
Despite
this
having
is
talked
a
about
tortured
it,
soul.
Evangeline and Harry were not prepared for the freezing
Broken man.
cold they would
He's
face
a broken
on that
old
Norwegian
man.
island.
Sorry, not old.
Although
He's
weather
still in his 60s.
would be the least of their problems in that place.
Probably feels older than he is.
No, that was the joke, because Evie thought he was 80.
Fair enough.
I'm not that old looking, am I? Dealing with the otherworldly can have that effect on people.
God, this is unbearable. Professor, are you sure you're all right? You should have brought a couple more layers.
Don't worry, Miss Drayton. I'll be fine.
Harry hadn't always been like that. He used to like heat. But 3 months stranded on a Pacific island had changed.
Yeah, it would change mine too. Harry should thank his lucky stars he didn't get malaria or some shit. Granted, I wouldn't really call them lucky stars considering what happened to everyone else.
The Black Pharaoh, Azathoth, and all that. What do you think it means?
Just the ramblings of a madman, I'm sure of it. I'm actually more worried about the other things. Spitsbergen, the statue, your memory loss, and your dreams about that creature. Too much of a coincidence, isn't it? This sign, it's written in Norwegian. I guess we're close.
Oh, Harry, if only you knew.
Do you really believe it's possible to switch minds?
Honestly,
the Black
Miss Drayton,
Pharaoh and
I have no
Azathoth
clue
are
what we're
not
dealing with.
the ramblings of a
Whatever it
madman.
is, we better stop.
They're
following
a
as soon as
whole
possible.
different bag of worms.
Crap, I spilled it. Shit, they're all over the floor.
Here it is.
Make sure they don't wake up, or we're fucked.
One of them is staring at me.
Well, it was nice.
Wait, that's the worm. That's a... Dude, we're gonna need some... We're gonna need some help. I ain't touching that. That is a Krata. Those things corrupt whatever they touch.
Don't worry, I got you.
Well, I'm clearing the splash zone.
Zap! There we go.
Getting your money's worth out of that sword, I see.
Oh, yeah.
The storm is getting stronger.
We'd better
Where'd you say you got it from again?
Professor.
Target.
And now some skeleton-faced screwball is bugging you about it, apparently.
Yep.
Must have been one enchanted-ass target.
This looks like the station's garage. I wonder why they left vehicles in here.
Maybe they left.
It's not working. The entry post is completely wrecked. What happened here? There are way too many beds for a simple radio station.
That would back up what Bowen said. That this place was just a cover-up.
A book titled The Unspeakable Cult doesn't sound like a very pleasant read. It's no use. This switch is completely wrecked. It's not working. This must be the generator room, but it's locked.
There only leaves one place left to
I
look.
can see some banners on the building. They look like... Oh.
Nazis. I hate these guys.
And it's here that Professor
Just as I thought.
Harry Everhart
No power in
becomes
here.
Professor
We
Indiana
should look
Jones.
for the key to that generator room. It must be around here somewhere. Interesting. Very interesting. But it won't help me bring the power back on. No, the door won't budge. Not yet. I've got to get the generator running before I can get any work done.
Yo!
Evangeline, I see a...
Harry hesitated to say the words because of how absurd they might sound.
space ship of some sort?
A spaceship? You mean like a flying saucer?
I swear. At some point I'm expecting to either see Reapers or some Forerunner bullshit.
Definitely missed something. Where the fuck is the key?
I'll have to take a look at it later. Right now, I need to get the power running in this station. This might come in handy, but not right now. I need to get the power. Not yet. I've got to get the generator running before I can get any work done.
Harry, I can't do that if you won't look for the goddamn key.
I'll have to take a look at it later. Right now, I need to get the power running in this station. Interesting. Very interesting. But it won't help me bring the power back on. All of these rusty gadgets are useless. This machinery hasn't been used for years. This might come in handy, but not right now. I need to get the power on in here first. Not yet. I've got to get the generator running before I can get in. I'll have to take a look at it. This might come in handy, but not right now. I need to get the power. Not yet. I've got to get the generator running before I can get any work done. Interesting. Very interesting.
Oh,
but it won't help me bring the
Where's
power
the
back on.
fucking key? Found it.
This must be the key to the generator room.
I begin to regret leaving the building.
Why?
The snow was irritating.
Hey, what the?
The current must have caused a power surge in that distribution panel up there. Let me take a look. Maybe I can fix it. Okay.
Yeah, Evie does know a thing or two from working with her pops and her uncle.
Darn it. This fuse box is sealed. You don't happen to have a screwdriver on you, do you?
No.
Perfect. This'll do. An old fuse box. And it looks like it still works. Even after years under this weather.
Never doubted German.
Goody, this kind of puzzle.
What's the problem?
Well, the whole base runs on an interlock circuit.
What does that mean? I know nothing of technical stuff and you know it.
It means that for the power to reach the antenna, you'll have to manually turn on each switch in order.
You mean I have to look for switches all over the base?
That's right. I'll route the power from this fuse box and then you turn it on.
Fine. Stay put. I'll get back to you.
Up to you now, Professor.
Oh, damn, wrong button.
Please, by all means.
You're in charge now.
Good. I managed to turn this thing on. Evangeline, try another switch.
Okay. Your turn, Professor.
Damn it.
Your turn.
You're in charge now.
Oh, I switched the power to the wrong place. Damn.
It's up to you now, Evangeline.
Up to you now, Professor.
There we go.
Good. I managed to turn this thing on. Evangeline, try another switch.
Okay.
Please, by all means.
Your turn, Professor.
The mess hall. Or what's left of it. Good. I managed to turn this thing on. Evangeline, try another switch. This storage room's a complete mess.
Like everything else in the station, it seems.
So, I'm gonna be honest. Little by little, I've been more and more interested in trying to find that Armada Nemesis Prime that had dropped for the Age of the Primes toy line.
Oh, really?
Your turn, Evangeline.
Up to you now, Professor.
Mostly for the Star Saber. But having, you know, handled the Armada Prime, I figured, you know, it's not a bad toy. Whether or not the trailer, it's still really good. Plus, hey, if I manage to get a hold of Nemesis Prime, that's even more motivation to go grab a... Was that flag what I thought it was? Yep. Yep, that's what I thought it was.
I mean, Harry said Nazis. I hate these guys.
Look away for like half a second and you miss a line of dialogue.
Also, their flags have been all over the place.
I've got no excuse.
See? Like, their symbol is right there.
Yeah, I got no excuses. I've just been willfully blind, I guess.
Power's on. I'm heading back to the antenna, Professor.
So, what is this place? Russian?
Okay, Evangeline.
As you're standing in front of a freaking Nazi flag.
I just figured it was his generic base number 526.
That reminds me of Peacemaker, actually. When he finds a new universe and accidentally kills that universe's version of himself,
Wasn't expecting to see one of
he
these.
tries to, like, you know, he tries to
It's an enigma
sneak
machine.
into the universe and just
A
live
message
that- live
encryption device
his
the
other's
Nazis
life.
used to encode top secret messages.
And thought, hey, this universe is great.
Know that.
I
You
worked
want to
in
know what that
intelligence
universe
during World
was?
War II.
What?
Obviously, I
It was
was
Earth
too old
X.
to be sent to the front lines. And I can't see a thing without my glasses. But the OSS thought someone
That's the
like
one
me
where
could
the
be
Nazis
useful
won.
cracking codes. So they sent me to Fort Meade, Maryland, to the Signal Security Agency building.
Like, him and his love interest are running out of the office that he was, like, apparently at or whatever. And then he just sees a mural of fucking Hitler. And he just goes, how did I not notice that before?
Hendricks requested a transfer to Europe last week. He's a man of action, no doubt about it. Russell's desk is always a
Also,
mess.
the fact there's, like, no
He's
people of
probably
color
on a
anywhere.
cigarette break.
Yeah. That's, oof.
Ah, the set of components that makes Enigma's encryption possible. Ah, I always keep this photograph close. Enigma decoding instructions. This is the message that needs to be deciphered. This is the message that needs to... I don't rightly know what we'd have done without Turing and his people over at Bletchley Park.
Alan Turing? Damn.
I really doubt this is how Nora pictures my work here at Fort Meade, but she does love to tease me. We worked hand in hand with the Brits. They'd already managed to crack Enigma, so we hoped their work could help us break JN-25, the Japanese naval encryption system.
First 3 letters of the encrypted code, and it's GMR. Okay. Date of the message, 25. B 312. $15.26.1. UAWF.
Excellent. I think I solved it. Maybe we can use their deconstruction process and adapt it to crack the Japanese ciphers. Of course, it was hard leaving Nora alone at home. But she insisted. She knew I could help our country fight the Axis. So my only condition for working at Fort Meade was that my wife could contact me whenever she needed. Yes?
Hello, my dear old pal.
Nora, it's so good to hear your voice.
How are things going over there, my love?
Well,
It's weird to hear
you know
Nora
they won't let me
again
tell you anything about what I do
the whole
here, but
narrator thing.
we're making progress. Mostly thanks to the British.
Blimey, who'd have thought the bloomin' Brits saving our hides?
Yes, they are, Nora. How are you feeling today? Have you had any fever?
Didn't we
this
save your
morning?
ass in World War II? Yes, and we saved your ass in World War III.
How are they treating you in Maryland? Are you eating well?
Yes, I can't complain, but I feel like I'm wasting our time. I should be making the most of every
A
day
war I
there with
pray
you
never
instead.
happens,
To me, Harry.
but
Both know there will
still
come a day when I won't
feels
be by your
way
side
too close for
anymore.
comfort.
But it doesn't make sense to live waiting for that moment.
Especially with the moron that we have in charge.
Besides, you're not going to live forever either.
The one you voted
pal.
for.
One day
Okay,
you'll kick the
listen.
bucket too. You know that?
Oh, that's what I call a cold comfort.
Why? What do you think happens when
Look, I don't. I joke, but I don't hold you accountable for that guy. You were making the presumed best out of a bad situation, bad lineup of candidates.
3 times. 3 times in a row. Like, oh my god. The first one was Hillary Clinton, which, first of all, she got people killed. Her mentor was a Grand Dragon with the KKK. And she was also on that bandwagon of trying to ban video games. Yeah, ban video games. And then Biden, who, due to personal history, I don't trust at all. Not to mention he was getting a little too old and he was touching kids inappropriately.
You say too old, like half of the people in charge aren't.
But no, I mean like near the end of his term, there were actual questions about his health.
Oh, I know.
There has to be something more.
I'm just saying, I look at that and think,
Don't get me
that's
wrong, I'm
not much
expecting
different from
St.
anyone
Peter to
else in
open the
power
pearly
I've seen
gates for
lately.
me, or walking on clouds or any of that, but
And then what was
maybe
her-
what
was
we
her name?
call
Kamala
heaven
Harris,
is
Biden's
just a
VP.
good moment that repeats over and over.
I didn't trust her
Like,
either
I
because
don't know. The
where the
early
fuck
days
did-
of our
where
newlywed
the
life
fuck
in
was she?
Inglewood. We were so young back then, and we didn't know about your.
Like,
I'll be honest, I didn't even realize
I
Biden
don't
had
know
a
if this is
VP.
just a belief
exactly.
or-
That's my
Yeah,
that's my point exactly. When Obama was president, we would hear all sorts of stuff about Biden.
when the time comes,
When Trump was
I'll be
president the
waiting
first
for you
time,
at
we'd
our
hear
house
all
meeting.
sorts of stuff about his VP.
Let's
When Biden was VP, we
Let's talk
heard
about
like
something
one thing
else.
from
All right,
Kamala
Laura?
Harris, and then
because if we keep
nothing
this up, we're going to
until
burst into
people
tears
start
and lose
questioning
whatever
his
little
health.
respect the army boys at Fort
Then
Meade
all of a
have.
sudden she's
All right,
she's
darling,
running
time to get back to it.
for president,
Crack those codes, Commander Everhart. All of America is counting on you.
and
I'll
it's
try
like,
my best.
where have you been
I love you, Nora.
these past 4 years?
I'll talk to you soon.
And
On vacation, presumably.
so the first time I voted for Trump, I actually, so okay, this might be a little controversial, but I did see some improvement in parts of America. Like gas prices were going down. But this second time around, dude has fumbled the bag every single time.
It's almost like when he announced he was going to make himself dictator of the United States, he meant it.
Also, apparently he called himself Jesus fucking Christ.
See, when you describe the way, you know, the last guy's health was deteriorating and how people were questioning if he was even qualified, I'm seeing that being repeated now.
Yeah. Let's get a like a mental.
No use. It's encrypted.
Like let's get a psychologist up in the White House.
Also, let's try not to just let people who allegedly admitted to cheating the election remain president, please.
there's some sort of cable here.
Wait, he cheated?
I say allegedly because I've not seen a source for this claim. But apparently, according to said claim, his former business partner that helped him get into office rigged the election for him.
First time or second time?
What on earth were they doing in this
Second
place?
time.
Okay. Because if it was the first time, I probably wouldn't pay any attention to it, because people were so, like, people were so certain that Hillary
Radio
Clinton was
station
gonna
gets
win.
creepier every...
And then, boom, an extra vote. Like one or two extra votes in favor of Trump, and then he wins. And they just start saying, "Oh, he cheated!"
It's the Dean's...
No. No, like, when I say, you know, allegedly cheated, I mean for his second term.
Yeah.
Again, I haven't seen a source, so I can't really verify it. All I know is that, like, I don't think I've ever liked whoever's been in office, ever.
Honestly, I would argue that the last good president, like fully good president that we had, was JFK.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the last truly good one we ever had got shot in the back of a car.
Ronald Reagan, depending on who you ask, was also good. I think he was decent. But what doesn't help is that his way of thinking has continued on into the modern world with the current presidencies, and that mindset just does not work today. It just doesn't work.
Weirdly enough, it's a mindset I've seen in place for, like, different things. Like, apparently there's a not insubstantial number of people in Japan who still hold on to the economic bubble long after it's burst. But that's Japan. Here in the States, we've been a dumpster fire.
Yep.
I'd argue this entire goddamn planet's been a dumpster fire, but at this point, who the hell would I be surprising?
I just, like, whenever people talk shit about the United States, like, oh, your country had slaves, your country is a police state, your country's done this, your country's done that. Yeah, what has your country done?
I'm pretty sure the entire world did the whole slavery thing at least once in its lifetime.
Hey, England, you remember the Great British Empire? Yeah, what happened to that?
Remember that time Napoleon had you soiling yourselves consistently?
Remember that time remember that time everyone was rebelling against you? Gee, I wonder why.
And won?
And won. America should never have dropped the nukes on Japan. Okay, listen. It was a no-win situation for everyone involved. But don't say that Japan was innocent, because, well, they just bombed Pearl Harbor. That's a military installation. They didn't hurt innocent civilians. Unit 731. That's right. I am willing to get down and dirty. If people start playing the blame game, I'm gonna start throwing shit.
Canada starts talking shit about the U.S. 2 words: Geneva Convention.
Canada may be a special case, because I'm pretty sure they can do that shit again. I mean, not the same shit, obviously. But, like,
there's a reason people don't screw with Canada.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny? At least to me?
What?
A couple years back, there was talk of you-know-who in charge, our idiot-in-chief, allegedly wanting to annex Canada. And I'm just sitting here getting Fallout flashbacks.
Yeah, thinking about it, the Canada in the Fallout universe must have had a completely different history, because there's no fucking way it would have worked.
We see footage of how the annexation in Canada went originally in the first game, and that basically amounted to a soldier in power armor mowing down people in the streets with a minigun.
I mean, this is Canada we're talking about. They can get pretty damn creative when it comes to avoiding the Geneva Convention.
Considering they're kind of responsible for half of its existence. Point being, the world sucks. We should really try making it better.
We really should.
First thing we need to do is agree on what exactly better means. That's kind of been the problem. There is no unified definition. How is it that we went from a early stream where we were talking about preschool shows on Nickelodeon to this?
I don't know. Probably because we're in a Nazi bunker.
And once again, that political movement brings out the worst in everyone involved.
I mean, you know what this symbol used to represent, right?
I believe it was a peace symbol once upon a time?
In Buddhism. It was a symbol for peace in Buddhism. And Hitler, being fucking Hitler, thought, well, I'm trying to bring peace to the world, so I'm going to use this as my freaking... the symbol for my party.
1943.
This makes me glad you can actually punch his lights out in Wolfenstein.
Yep. Alright. BDA 2321. $19.25.6. PWCR.
though I brought up Fallout earlier, it's been a recurring comment I've seen lately how people are going, you know, I once thought that everything the game posed for its world building was like outlandish, it could never happen, and now I'm just seeing it happening. The one thing I see people point to the most is the inflation rate. Turns out, it wasn't nearly as exaggerated as we thought. If it kept going at a consistent rate, without, like, getting to go down, that is what prices legitimately would have looked like in 2077. Like, it was terrifyingly close to accurate.
That one's smudge because I can't tell what the fucking letters are. I wonder if there's a way to examine it.
There's gotta be a lighter topic we can tackle. Nostalgic cartoons never seems to fail us.
A reinforced door. You still think this is just a radio station?
Alright, I've got to admit, this is weird as hell.
So, talking about like classic Cartoon Network and the like, Scooby-Doo definitely was a family favorite over here.
Oh yeah, Scooby-Doo was good. Was great.
Amusingly enough, I can effectively trace the reason Zombie Island exists to the existence of Cartoon Network itself. The reruns that aired on the channel gained enough popularity that Hanna-Barbera decided, well, we're trying a movie. But because they weren't too certain of its success, they were more convinced that it was going to fail like the last batch, they allowed they kept a more hands-off approach for the development team. When the supervisors keep hands-off with the development team for a media project, you tend to get some good shit. Because, as we all know, the less executive meddling there is, the more creative the writers tend to get. Though there is a place to be said for creativity and working around limitations. And guess what? Zombie Island was a hit. Like, almost an unprecedented one. Unexpected, I believe, was the word I was looking for. Like, Hanna-Barbera were not expecting Zombie Island to do as well as it did. And it shows, because with every sequel getting more and more success, they exerted more and more control, which led to more increasingly bog-standard Scooby plots.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that Alien Invaders or the Cyberchase were bad in any way. Just that they're closer to what you'd expect from Scooby-Doo as opposed to stuff like Zombie Island or Witch's Ghost. Heck, Witch's Ghost even had its own version of a standard Scooby plot going on just before the actual title character shows up.
German names with numbers assigned.
And just like any good Scooby-Doo property, there are clues to let you know something's off from the get-go. Like, even outside of the mystery of who the witch's ghost that's attacking the town actually is, specifically in regards to Ben Ravencroft, there are some hints that he's not what he seems. Or that his motives are not quite what you'd expect.
I'll have to look up a video. Like, every time Ben Ravencroft hinted at what he was actually after.
This Voight fella doesn't sound too happy.
Good luck finding such a compilation, but I'm sure it exists somewhere. And of course, there's the ultimate hint that this guy is not what he seems, but I don't count this because that requires meta-knowledge. His voice actor.
Yeah.
Like, if you know anything about the actor who plays Ben Ravencroft, you'll know he's going to turn villain at some point.
We did it, Evangeline.
I can count the non-villainous characters this man has played on one hand.
So the station was just a cover-up. I wonder what for.
Whatever it is, we're going to find out.
Nay,
And
one
soon.
claw. I genuinely think Nigel Thornberry is the only non-villainous character he's ever played.
Let's put that to the test, shall we?
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Like, by the man's own admission, playing villains is more fun. You get to ham it up.
Alright, let's see. Live action roles. I'm not going to count the theater roles because I don't know any of the theater things. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Do we count Dr. Frankenfurter as a villain?
I'm not sure.
Let's see. Oh god, there's a lot on here that I don't know.
He was in Over the Garden Wall?
He was in Annie?
You are joking. He played Chancellor Palpatine, aka Darth Sidious, in the CGI Clone Wars cartoon. He was also the Sorcerer in Randy Cunningham, 9th Grade Ninja. There's another villain.
Yeah. I remember that.
Forever King Joseph Chadwick in Ben 10 Omniverse.
Oh, he was Rooster Hannigan in Annie. He was Miss Hannigan's sociopathic con artist younger brother. So yeah, he was a villain. He played
Young Justice, G. Gordon Godfrey.
Oh, yeah. Basically their equivalent of Jameson.
To the fact that his name is an alliteration, dear God.
He played Darkness in Legend. I'm going to assume that's a villain.
Dr. Morocco in Transformers Rescue Bots. Basically, immortal scientist technomancer guy.
He played Mr. Hector in Home Alone 2. I believe that was the concierge at the hotel. I don't think he was a villain per se, but he definitely did not like dealing with Kevin's shit.
Various roles on Phineas and Ferb. Various roles on Regular Show.
He was Long John Silver in Muppet Treasure Island.
Doviculus in Brutal Legend.
Oh, fuck yeah, he was! Let's see. He was Professor Oldman in Scary Movie 2. I'm pretty sure he was the villain in that. I think. I don't know.
The titular Goblin King in Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King from 2008.
His last two film roles were documentaries. For Pennywise, the story of It, and Strange Journey, the story of Rocky Horror. Now,
He played Professor Calamitous from Jimmy Neutron.
I never realized that was him!
He was in Lunatics Unleashed, Chalk Zone, a character named Magnificent Rogue in Duck Dodgers, El Malefico and Mucha Lucha, The Return of So-and-so. He was in Hey Arnold, Proud Family.
He was in Criminal Minds.
Emo Supremo. He was in Ozzy and Drix, the cartoon spin-off of the Osmosis Jones movie, taking up Scarlet Fever and Nicotine.
Oh, let's not forget, he was also Hexus in Fern Gully.
Toxic Love.
He was also Drake in The Pebble and the Penguin.
He was the voice of the Mastermind in Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights.
He was the voice of Forte in Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas. He was Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Carol.
Do we count him as a villain?
In the beginning, yes.
Fair enough.
He was in the Rugrats movie as Rex Pester. I don't remember a Rex Pester. Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost.
Voltron the Third Dimension as Prince Lotor and King Alfor.
Yeah, no, okay, that's a villain.
Mutro Botha in Batman Beyond.
He voiced the Cat King in The Cat Returns. I don't think he was a villain, but he was misguided, I think.
Dr. Slicer in Disney's Recess. The Skull in Bartok the Magnificent. That was a spin-off we didn't need. He was Gomez Adams in Adams Family Reunion.
The Voyages of Young Dr. Doolittle. He voiced Dr. Doolittle.
Well, that's a non-villainous character. I'll give him that. Pretorius in the Mask TV series.
Damn.
Dr. Mystico in Freakazoid. And Lord Draguanus in Mighty Ducks, of all places. Long John Silver in Muppets Treasure Island.
Okay. The Greatest Adventure. Stories from the Bible. Guess who he voiced?
Oh. Who?
The Serpent and Judas.
Well, can't get much more villainous than that, I guess.
Two of the biggest villains in religious history.
He had roles in Captain Planet and the Planeteers.
Oh, I remember. He was the computer, I think.
Blight 5's computer. Yeah. He was in Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. I remember this one.
Yeah. He
played the main villain.
Yeah.
He played the main villain.
What was his name?
Keelakon?
Keelakon. Yep.
It's why I wanted so badly to do the Nigel Thornberry impression during SRW 30. Turbocharged Thunderbirds. Animated stories from the Bible. Voice of God.
So he went from voicing Satan and Judas to voicing God.
I ain't touching that with a 39.5-foot pole.
Also, he voiced King Acorn and the Keeper of the Time Stones in Sonic the Hedgehog.
The Evil Manta and the Little Mermaid. Skullmaster and Jules Verne in Mighty Max. Some roles in Aladdin, the TV series. Dinosaurs, the TV series.
He was Trader Slick in the Jumanji cartoon.
If we just keep doing this, we'll be here all day.
And we're already past the 2-hour mark.
I will end it on one last one then. Taurus Bulba in Darkwing Duck.
He really has played a lot of villains. We found at least 2 non-villainous roles.
Yeah.
It's not a lot, but...
Hell, it's better than nothing. Proves that he can do that.
Yeah, there's Emperor Diviculus. Whew. He voiced Lemony Snicket in Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, the video game.
He voiced William Shakespeare in another project altogether.
We don't count them as villains, right?
We'll chalk them up to neutral parties.
Alright. So, sorry we got sidetracked, but we were near the end anyway.
And we kind of needed that break after the darker turn conversation it's taken.
Yep. So, thank you all for watching. This has been Vegas Bear 92.
And Meicoomon.
And Bella, who's not here. Huh. And...
Your controller disconnected.
I noticed. If you like what we do and want us to keep doing it, feel free to support us in any way you wish, whether it be monetarily or through engagement. Every little bit helps. And as always, stay safe, stay comfy, stay hydrated, stay healthy, be good to each other. Yeah, be good to each other.
Seriously.
And we will see you all hopefully tomorrow with more Batman.
Remember, folks, be the people Mr. Rogers knew you could be.